Hello, everybody. Dave Neal here, stand-up comic and host of Bachelor Nation News. Happy Thursday morning to everybody out there. Oh, boy, we are just days away from my trip to Mexico for my wedding. I got my ears lowered, as my stepdad would say. I got a nice little haircut here. But first, we've got beef to talk about. All the vegans out there are going to love this story. Kira responds to Justin in their ongoing saga. This is real barrel scraping right in the middle of Bachelor in Paradise season. Follow me on Instagram at DNeals. And if you want private behind-the-scenes bonus content, go to patreon.com/Dave Neal. I can't believe I did this. I'm going to get in trouble, guys. I shouldn't have done this. Yesterday on my private live stream, I revealed the wedding ring that was custom made. Here's a clip.
Kind of cold.
All right, show it to us. This is the wedding ring. Hold it up. Now, that's as far as I'm going to let you guys get. But if you want to check it out, you can go to patreon.com/Dave Neal. I've got all the private behind-the-scenes bonus content all over there. So yesterday we made this video. Is that good clickbait? I don't know. Maybe you don't care. You're like, we don't care, Dave. That's fine. That's fine, too. But some of you guys do. Kira calls out Justin with receipts. Kira went to Harvard, and she's a doctor. Justin is a muralist. He's an artist. And by the way, he's got such a fire shirt there. The cactus with the sun or the moon behind. Very good looking. Either way, they kind of represent both sides of the brain here in a way. Anyway, so Kira showed the receipts in yesterday's video saying Stagecoach was fun, wasn't it? And he was like, look, just because you were there doesn't mean I remember you. I don't remember talking to you. And this all began when Kira kind of mentioned, oh, Justin's with Sally. They were hooking up. And he's like, what? You weren't even there. And she's like, I was. He's like, well, okay, so you get the point. So the argument's kind of not exactly he said, she said. It's that he doesn't remember her, and she's showing receipts. And we're going to get into that. But here's her Q&A. We'll just go straight down the pipe here for her Ask Me Anything. Someone said, how's life? She said, I'm in good spirits. Thanks for asking. What is your favorite thing about yourself? She said that I march to the beat of my own drum. All right. Do you worry your patients will have watched you on Bachelor in Paradise? She said, when someone is sick enough to be hospitalized and under my care, I doubt they care too much about Bachelor in Paradise. I'm in the same camp here. All of my sort of criticism of Kira just comes down to the way she played the game on the sand. Nothing to do with her career or anything like that. What was the most important lesson you learned from Bachelor in Paradise? She said that I picked the wrong show to go on. LOL, there are a couple of other shows that are more my speed. Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong, like, you know, we only know the edit they showed us, but she kind of came in too hot and to handle. She should have been on Too Hot to Handle. That's probably more her speed, or, you know, maybe not. Maybe it was just that people weren't really into her shtick. You know what I mean? Like Demi, Corinne, there's certain people that have this sort of like sexy, like abrasive, sexual kind of shtick that works for their character. And for Kira, the guys were kind of just like, what are you doing? And it's not one of those like shame her because she's a doctor. It just didn't work. Jacob's like, she's rubbing my nipples. What's going on? Like, maybe there was a scenario if she did that to Rodney that it would have worked out. But either way, it didn't. Her sort of like thinking she had a shot with Romeo was kind of weird, but also Romeo himself played the situation weird. So can we fault Kira? Maybe he was sending her missed signals. I think in a do-over, there's a scenario in the sort of matrix of Bachelor in Paradise where she comes off differently, but that didn't happen here. Who was your closest? Who were you closest with on the beach? She said, I really like and respect Sierra. She's both kind and real. Of course, Sierra Jackson, absolutely Sierra's gorgeous. Very nice. If you were a medication, what med would you be and why? Mine would be a Dunkin' Donuts iced coffee. She said ketamine because I can keep people calm and happy without putting them to sleep. Now, I'm a little confused here. I just watched the cave documentary for the Thai cave boys that were stuck in the cave for 17 days. Now, I don't want to give anything away, but it was already in the news. Spoiler alert, happened several years ago. But they put them on ketamine because it knocked them out but kept their heart rate okay. Do I have something wrong? Again, not a doctor here, not recommending it. But also, ketamine is definitely a party drug that goes around. Look, maybe I was made for a different time. I like an espresso. I like a brownie. I don't need no ketamine. Just give me some sweets and Do you still think Justin needs glasses? So here's her response to Justin Glaze. I found Justin's tweet unkind and untrue. I showed him the receipts, and I'll just leave it at that. Now, I'm not one of those types that I hate the saying like I was living my truth, but Justin didn't believe she was there, so he wasn't actively lying. He wasn't saying, oh, you weren't even there. She was like, no, I was. He goes, oh, but I didn't even remember you. So it's not that it wasn't that he was lying, but it was just kind of one of those, what are we even talking about? Now, the question is, was it unkind? That's for her to decide. And it's for Justin to decide, were Kira's words on Bachelor in Paradise unkind? Maybe Justin had a connection with Sally that didn't cross lines, or I don't really know. And maybe he thought that no one else could have known about that. So when he saw Kira coming for her, he said, what are you talking about? You weren't even there. Again, we don't know. We reported at the time that it was pretty common knowledge that him and Sally were all over each other. But again, you don't know what you don't know. And we just don't know if Justin has that swag.
Does he have like this swag?
Girl, she don't know. So what else do we have going on here? Kira said, the question was, how did your employer feel about you going on Paradise? She said, no one has a problem with it since Bachelor in Paradise is not remotely tied to my skill set, qualifications, or ability to do my job. Of course, there are some professions out there that people want to hold to a moral standard, and medicine is one of them, and maybe we should normalize not doing that. Although, that's just not necessarily how people always work. So yeah, it's good for Kira to say that. But if me and my fiance were looking for a doctor to deliver our baby, and we just saw that someone was making possible poor choices on the beach, it might be hard. It might be hard to separate that and go, look, all right, I just want a doctor whose job's being a doctor because I don't want any extra things to miss. So people choose, like when we were choosing our wedding planner, we wanted a female wedding planner. We just thought women would be better at planning a wedding. We ended up going with a male wedding planner, and he's fantastic. He's amazing. We love this guy. He's part of our family now. So we have these preconceived notions, and sometimes they are there because of statistical information, and sometimes it's a hunch. If Kira was a OBGYN, maybe someone wouldn't want her. I don't know. It's up to people's personal preferences. But she's not wrong when she says this is not remotely tied to her skill set. Although, I guess, you could make an argument otherwise, but I tend to agree with her here. Although I wouldn't say it's completely out of the question when people are dealing with other people's lives. If someone was, say, on Bachelor in Paradise and they were getting wasted every day, and then we found out they were a elementary school bus driver, one might say, hey, you've been getting wasted on the beach. You don't do this at work, right? And that would be probably a fair question to ask, because you don't want your kids having some wasted bus driver driving them around. I don't know exactly what Kira does with her job, and and she also wasn't wasted on the beach. So the comparison isn't necessarily perfect, but you can understand there are professions that you might wonder if someone's personal life would spill. Okay, was you taking the vibrator into the boom boom room actually real? She said that scene was for shock and entertainment value. It sure got people buzzing. Okay, good. Nice little, yeah, she really hit the G-spot there. I don't know if that makes sense. What is the deal with these cocktail beverages? By the way, this looks fantastic. Is that cotton candy or smoke? I can't really tell. If that's cotton candy on top of a mimosa, tell me where she is and I want to be there. I would hire a doctor who has this sort of taste. All right, so I'm surprised she actually commented on the vibrator, because, usually they stay away from commenting on anything that appeared sort of like manipulated, if you know what I mean. But isn't that a vibrator's job to manipulate a situation? Come on now, folks. Where are we? I'll tell you what's got that swag, that vibrator does.
God.
She knows. You're going to need one of those if you're waiting for marriage. What age do you see yourself getting married? I'm ready to get married and move on to the next phase of life. Just waiting on the right person. What is your moon, sun, and rising? I love your energy. My moon's Taurus, my sun's Scorpio, and my rising's Scorpio. Yeah. By the way, I wouldn't trust a doctor who speaks in astrology. That would be the thing for me. And no, it's not. It's not the rubbing the nipples or anything decisions you made. It's that you believe in astrology. I don't know about that. I want my doctors to believe in anti-inflammatories and WebMD. I'm kidding. I actually have no preference. I think Western medicine's completely flawed in the way that. By the way, I think. Look, we have a doctor shortage. Hear me out, folks. We'll get political. Give me the national anthem button. Listen, we have a doctor shortage, right? We need 1 year of medical school. That's it. 1 year of medical school, and then they start working in underserved communities. And you might go, but they're not perfectly trained. Have you been to some of these communities? They could use some help, okay? I diagnosed myself for 17 years with WebMD and hope, okay? So and again, I'm not making light of doctors. I'm just saying they should be learning out in the field with maybe professionals that are already trained and everything and diagnosing problems and going into the communities that need all the help. What I'm saying is we need better socialized healthcare, and that's what I'm running on, okay? What makes you be on the two dating shows? It was never in my life plan, but it seemed like a fun thing to do, so I went for it, and that what made her be there. And again, this, of course, received some heat because she's wearing her lab coat. So it's like, it's not just like you're a doctor going on a dating show. Now you're cosplaying as a doctor and you're like, oh, I can feel your blue balls throbbing or whatever. What's your ethnicity? Belarusian and Ethiopian. And that's very interesting. I didn't know what her ethnicity was. Belarusian and Ethiopian. So there she is. What appears to be graduating from Harvard. I don't know if that's medical school. Although I will say they need to clean up this bench here. Get a good power washer to it. This man's got nice khakis on and now it's going to have some algae stuck to it. To do a favorite moment that from Bachelor in Paradise that aired, honestly, I came up with the idea and I committed. I couldn't stop laughing from start to finish. And of course, that's her putting on the leafy greens, the lettuce wrap. And she'll be addressing the controversy on talking it out. So I guess we'll have more to talk about regarding this situation. And what Justin Glaze's response is this. I'm not going to play all of the audio here, but he decided to make a mural. He was commissioned, and they covered this news in the Baltimore news here, and of course that's a falcon. So here he is making a mural, and I have to say, this might not be the same as saving lives as a doctor, but the people in the Bachelor community that are doing creative things need all of our support. I'm not kidding. Oh my gosh, I'm not kidding. Get me that barn. Once we get to the size where we have a Bachelor recap barn, I'm hiring Justin to make a power recap mural over here. Absolutely. Can you imagine just a giant face of mine, just big microphones and everything? So there he is doing the work. And by the way, again, you'll have to listen. I'm not playing it because there's music in the background, but you'll have to listen to the news that covered this story. But the street reporter that covered the story is actually Justin's brother. So there he is with a pretty flawless mural. I mean, I'm surprised he's not doing more of this art. I mean, this is just really incredible stuff, and nice to see the comment section from the men and women of Bachelor Nation. We have Tasha, this is amazing, congrats. Natasha, Jesse Palmer. By the way, why is Jesse Palmer not verified? What's going on with Jesse Palmer? He's not verified on Instagram. So Caitlin Bristow, everyone thinks this is cool. It would be really nice if more people in Bachelor Nation commissioned Justin to be doing works like this. So congrats to Justin, and to everyone else out there, we got more content coming your way. We'll have the Teddy mystery story, why she left Bachelor in Paradise so soon. We'll get into the theories, and we have more right after this. We'll see you soon. I'll be on Patreon at 10 a.m. today. Bye, guys.